Hi, I'm Kristine Weber. I love to help mature yoga teachers let their wisdom shine. Thank you for joining me for my weekly live stream today. I'm going to talk about wrists and just mostly just wrists and forearms in yoga a little bit, but not just like, okay, do this for your wrists and forearms. I want to talk about the philosophy of arms and hands in the yoga tradition and how that may hold the key to greater healing, greater comfort and healing in practice. So many people come to yoga and they say, oh, my wrists hurt and I can't do down dog or whatever. And then we try and find all these ways to help them. We're like, okay, use a wedge or use use a yoga wedge or use weights or don't put pressure on your wrist, all that sort of stuff. And first of all, it's important to know that most people don't hurt their wrists necessarily doing yoga unless they're just like their yoga practice is, 100% arm balances. Most people don't necessarily hurt their wrists in yoga, but they hurt their wrists doing other things. And then they come to yoga with hurt wrists. And we don't want the yoga practice to make it worse, of course, right? So that's the first thing. Now, secondly, the philosophy. What's up with the arms and the hands? It's rather complex yoga philosophy is very complicated, of course, but it's rather complex. But the basic idea is that the self, and we even, use our hands to talk about ourselves, and often we touch here. The self is compelled to this universe to manipulate the universe and do things. I mean, look at what human beings have done to manipulate this world. That's because we have this very complex brain and nervous system that has evolved as a way to express the desire of human beings to manipulate the world. And so the hands and the arms evolved as a way of taking and receiving, or receiving and giving, as a way of giving and receiving. The hands and arms evolved in that. And that's like very basic, like fundamental developmental movements of human existence: grasping, pulling towards me, pushing away from me. Bonnie Bainbridge Cohen did a beautiful job elucidating those developmental movements, and we use them in yoga. And the point being that the arms and the hands are not just about like, this is my arms and my hands and I got to figure out how to take care of my wrists. Like, when we understand a little bit of that deeper meaning. And the other piece that's so interesting is that the arms and hands are connected to the heart center and the air element, the aerial factor. So it's like, what does my heart want to give? What does my heart want to receive? When I start thinking about my hands and my arms in that way, then the injuries and pain and discomfort takes on like another level of depth and meaning and metaphor. I want my hands and my arms and my wrists to be comfortable so that I can give and so that I can receive the desires of my heart. So in thinking about that, one of the things that I like to use in yoga practice or in chair, I'm sitting in chair today because I'm talking about chair yoga a little bit in a moment. Simple practice that I've used for many, many years are the Pawan Mukta asanas, the joint rotation poses, right? So this kind of simple, slow range of motion with interoceptive awareness, because you can do this all day long, chewing gum and talking to your friends or whatever, like, and it doesn't mean anything, But when I bring my attention and even my eyes into watching the movements of my hands, and when I bring my attention into feeling the sensations as I do these slow movements and noticing with awe, the exquisite beauty of these extraordinary tools of engineering, extraordinarily engineered tools, that's a different experience. And I can start to explore the range of motion with a sense of awe and gratitude and bring that stillness into the parasympathetic nervous system, which then translates into reduction in inflammation globally through the system, right? So Slow, mindful movement with awareness. Then, if you want to get a little more interesting about your joint rotations, I mean, you can do the whole series. The Pawan Mukta asanas are outlined in the book Asana Pranayama Bandha Mudra, which is, or Mudra Bandha, I can't remember it. Well, anyway, it's one of the books of the Bihar School of Yoga. Great, great stuff. I love it. But you can bring some other things in. Like, what if we bring the arms down by our side, go back up a little bit, and imagine we're moving the hands through water around us. You know, water is so wonderful for reducing the vata. It reduces pitta sometimes too, but reducing that creakiness. That's why a lot of older people love water yoga and water aerobics and water exercise. When we bring that level of mindful awareness, feel like the arms are moving through the viscous water. Doesn't it feel different than just making circles with your hands, right? It's a little different. Like, kind of bring that visualization that you're stirring the water. You can even push the waves and pull the waves from Qigong, which has a lot of similarities to yoga, of course. Push and pull the waves is another nice one. And there's so many more things you can do with the hands and yoga practice. But so just, I hope you did that with me, and it took you like, a half a minute. And then when you rest your hands on your lap, soften or close your eyes and bring mindful awareness and attention to what we just did, and notice the radiant sensations and vibrations coming from your wrists and your hands, and your tingling in your fingers and your forearms, maybe your shoulders. That attention, that awareness of the sensations helps to make some changes to the nervous system, which may, I'm not saying it will, but it may translate to a reduction of discomfort. Okay, so I hope this has been helpful and maybe a little thought provoking. I'm here every Wednesday. Please join me for my live streams, usually around 11, sometimes a little earlier. Um, and starting September 10th, I have a very special training. It's called Chair Yoga for Brain Health, where you'll learn these kind of techniques and many, many more. I also have a series starting, a free little informative series, which will be starting next Monday, called 7 Great Reasons to Teach Chair Yoga. I hope you will watch it, because even those of you who are already teaching chair yoga, it will give you a lot of ideas about how to connect in the community and with healthcare providers to help you shore up or gain more students, or work in different facilities that you might not have thought about, different venues you might not have thought about before. So please check out my Chair Yoga for Brain Health training. The link is in the description. And if you're watching me on Instagram, it will be in the description when I finish up here. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next week. Lots of love.